Good morning, everyone. Hello and welcome. How's everyone doing today? What's up? What's up? What's up? Today is Thursday, the 15th of October, 2020. I'm Darkside Phil. Don't have any caffeine in me today. Didn't have time for it. Too much going on today. We'll talk about that because I got a couple positive updates in regards to a couple of ongoing things here that I would like to share with all of you today, but they don't necessarily have to be talked about before we get through things like the gaming schedule and stuff like that, okay? Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're ready for some more October spooky fun. So, on Monday, I finished up Amnesia: The Dark Descent. To my surprise, I didn't think I would finish it Monday in only 2 sessions, but I did. And now I'm going to head into some other Amnesia content because I bought the Amnesia collection for PlayStation 4, which not only included the original game, but also includes a DLC expansion for that original game called Justine, as well as the sequel, A Machine for Pigs, which I've heard is a significantly shorter and different kind of game. Whatever that means. So, should be good, because we're going to be continuing on with Amnesia and basically playing all of the previous Amnesia content before the new Amnesia game comes out next week, which we'll talk about here in just a moment. Okay? So what are we doing here on today's stream, main gameplay stream? Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to check out the Justine DLC. I don't exactly know what it is. The only thing I can think of is there was at one point during the story of the game, you, the main character, alright, Daniel, referenced that you would become basically crazy. You become a killer because Alexander had kind of trained you to become a killer. And originally you were only killing criminals in order to harness their vitae to create the magic, or whatever you want to call it, to keep the shadow away. I know that all sounds weird. If you didn't watch the playthrough of the original game, you have no idea what I'm talking about, okay? But basically, you had a torture place set up where you'd kidnap criminals or have criminals delivered to you, and you would torture them until they died, and that would keep some evil presence away while you did research on how to use these otherworldly powers to become powerful and go to another dimension. Okay? But then, at one point during the story, it's discovered that you couldn't get criminals anymore for whatever reason. They dried up. You couldn't get anyone to deliver criminals to the estate anymore. So you ended up just getting anyone. At one point, it talks about you went to a farmstead, and you kidnapped a bunch of innocent farmers and their children. And then there's one time where there's a story about a girl who escapes and is running through the manor trying to escape, and you're chasing her like a killer, you know, almost like a slasher killer kind of a deal, like a horror movie, right? And now, of course, this is all referenced in audio logs and writing logs. You don't have to see any of this. But what I'm surmising, which I could be wrong, all right, is that maybe in this DLC you play the girl, Justine, and she's trying to escape the manor, and that's why it's permadeath. If you get caught, he kills you, that's the end of it. Or maybe I'm completely wrong. I don't know, I'm just guessing. I don't know who this Justine is. There was never a name Justine mentioned in the original game, okay? So I want to check that out. Now, it's permadeath, and everyone says if you know what you're doing, you can beat it in about an hour. But for most people, they say the DLC is incredibly frustrating because if you don't cheat, you basically got to do it over and over and over and over, and this 1 hour DLC can end up being like 3 or more hours long. Okay? I don't want to do that. I don't. I'm just being honest. What I'd like to do is check it out just to see what the hell it is. Okay? But I don't want to waste a lot of time on it. Okay? So we'll give it a shot. Maybe I'll do 1 or 2 shots, and if I die permadeath, alright, that's it. Forget it, you know. Then I want to move on to the sequel, A Machine for Pigs. For what I understand, the sequel's very different from The Dark Descent. It's a different plot line. It's made by a different group of people, and that's why the game feels pretty much completely different from the original Dark Descent game. Okay? Now, it's apparently way more narrative-based, meaning like there's less puzzles and stuff. It's more just kind of walking around and getting a horror story. And at the same time, it's shorter. You know, Amnesia: The Dark Descent's about 7 hours long. It took me about 7 hours to beat it. I'm being told A Machine for Pigs is about 4 to 5 hours long. Okay? So we're going to do this today. We're going to see how long I want to play the Justine DLC. All right, and then we're going to head into a Machine for Pigs and start that up. Now, I don't know, will this warrant another daytime stream later on this week, like maybe Sunday or Monday, to finish up a Machine for Pigs? Or is it so short that maybe I just need a night stream? You know, I don't know. I don't actually know how long it is. But my goal would be to finish a Machine for Pigs before the new Amnesia game comes out later this week, which is actually, it's not this week, it's next week. It's Wednesday. Well, it comes out Tuesday of next week, but Tuesday's my day off. So when I come back on Wednesday, that's when I'm going to be starting it up. Okay? So, yes, that's going to be the deal. Today, the Justine DLC and Amnesia, see what it is. Likely not going to beat it because of the permadeath mechanic, and then we're going to start up a Machine for Pigs. Okay? Tonight, the late stream, which starts around 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, will be Batman Return to Arkham City. Yes, I've been doing this for about a month now since I beat Batman, at where I do once a week a couple hours where we chill and we do Riddler puzzles, you know, whether it's getting the trophies or, you know, actually solving his actual riddles by finding things to look at in Gotham City. Okay? Now, last time around, we made great progress. We actually completely cleared out Wonder Tower and the subway and the museum. So we cleared out pretty much all the indoor areas. Now what's left is the outdoor areas, and when we ended last stream, I had grabbed a bunch of Riddler informants and unlocked a bunch of stuff on the map. So that's pretty much what we're going to focus on tonight. It's just going to be me, you know, going around solving Riddler stuff and chilling with you guys. You know, it's more about kind of interaction and hanging out and having a conversation than necessarily focusing in on 5 million Riddler riddles, okay? Now, why am I doing this? Because I want to actually beat the game and do all the Riddler content, which I never did in my run 9 years ago when it was a new release, because it was so much of it. You know, it's think about this. I beat the game about a month ago, right? Yet here I am still playing it once a week, so that's at least 8 additional hours of content, just Riddler content, and we're still going. So that's what I mean. That's why I didn't beat it back then, because back then, you know, I was trying to make entertaining and riveting gameplay videos for a YouTube audience. It's very different when you have an interactive streaming audience where we can hang out and have a good time together, even if I'm not doing the most entertaining gaming stuff. So that's why I couldn't do it 11 years ago. Or excuse me, 9 years ago. But that's why I want to do it now, because I'm a different kind of content creator now. Okay? So I hope you'll join me later tonight for some Batman chill fun. Okay? Tomorrow, Friday, we got some new stuff. It is Ghost of Tsushima's free DLC Legends, which includes a new game plus mode that I really don't care about, a 2-player co-op mode against waves of AI opponents. So essentially, it's a PvE mode added. And then there's a 4v4 PvP online mode, where you get to play as these kind of legendary characters, demons or whatever, samurai, and fight other humans. It seems pretty interesting, and I said this earlier this week. I said I equate this to kind of the multiplayer that was added to Assassin's Creed for like Brotherhood and Revelations. Is it superfluous to the game experience? Yeah, you don't even really need it. The core game was well more than enough to be considered a Game of the Year contender. But the fact that they're actually adding in additional extra and free content later after the fact is pretty damned awesome. And I'm actually interested in checking it out. So this is going to be tomorrow's main stream. We're going to check this out and see what it's all about. Tomorrow night, it'll be my weekly throwback Street Fighter session where we play old school Street Fighter on the late night stream. Then on Saturday, it's time for Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War's beta to return, and apparently this Saturday, there's going to be more content. Apparently this Saturday, it's going to be maybe new maps. I think they were saying the giant map that's supposed to be like 20 versus 20 will be unlocked. Which, honestly, I don't know how I feel about it. I played the map that I think was, I want to say it was either 12v12 or 16v16 in the alpha, and I hated it. It was a sniper's paradise. You couldn't even get across the map because everyone was camping and sniping. It was not fun. Okay? But I want to play more of this beta because I had so much fun with it last week. So we're going to see what's going on, and we're going to do that this coming weekend on Saturday. Saturday night will be the conclusion of Crash Bandicoot 4. Okay? Pretty excited for that. All we've got is 2 final stages in the final boss fight. However, the 2 final stages are incredibly challenging. So we'll see how that goes. Okay. And then on Saturday and Sunday, on Sunday and Monday, it's up in the air. And what I mean by that is, let's say, for example, we need a whole another mainstream to finish a machine for pigs. Then we'll do it. See? That's good that I have that flexibility. What if Sunday night I decide, man, I want to do more of the Black Ops beta because it's my last chance to play it before it goes away, and I really enjoyed it, and I want to do a couple more hours. Then I could do that Sunday night. But what if I want to play more Fall Guys and do a weekly session of Fall Guys? Well, I could do that if I want. What if I want to start up a new game, right? What if I want to start up a playthrough of Hollow Knight, continuing on with the hour of gameplay that I did during the Rageathon last month? Or what if I want to check out this Genshin Impact game everyone seems to be talking about, right? Basically, I have flexibility to do what I want on Sunday and Monday, and I like that. I like having open flexibility. It allows me to pick and choose the kind of stuff that I want to do and not be limited by time constraints or whatever. This is good. This is a very good thing. Okay? So, we'll see what happens Sunday and Monday. All right? Tuesday will be my day off from streaming. And by the way, over the weekend, 2 things you guys should definitely do. The first thing you should do is nominate games for the upcoming Halloween Marathon by typing !marathon into the stream chat. That'll bring up the link by which you can nominate games for that event. And also, you should continue to vote on the category of costume that you want to see for the Halloween Marathon that I'm going to wear. You can do that by typing !costume into the stream chat. Okay? Why should you do those 2 things over the weekend here? It's very important because guess what? Those things close on Tuesday. Basically, I'm going to close them off on Monday night. And then Tuesday, I'm going out to actually buy my Halloween costume for the Halloween event. And in addition to that, I'll be starting to look at the games and figure out, okay, what games am I going to be playing? How can I get them, etc. It'll give me about a week and a half to get everything together for the event, okay? So, good stuff. And I hope that this sounds good to all of you, and I hope that you will nominate and vote. Last chance to do so, okay? Now, next week, as I've already mentioned, new release in Amnesia Rebirth. It's the new Amnesia game. It comes out on Tuesday, but I'll be here on Wednesday to start it up. That's why I want to finish a machine for pigs beforehand. That'll be awesome, because I just finished The Dark Descent, so I'll have the background for it. Apparently, this game is supposed to take place in the tomb, where apparently you found the orb in the first game, which is interesting. I don't know if the entire game takes place there or only part of it, but it certainly sounds interesting to me. So I hope that you guys will join me for that starting on Wednesday, okay? Then later that week, which I believe is, it's either Thursday or Friday, I'm not 100%, Pokemon Sword and Shield is getting its second and final major DLC called the Crown Tundra. Tons of new Pokemon, new plotline added. Should be a good time. I had a lot of fun playing the expansion earlier this year, and this is the final expansion and a send-off for Pokemon Sword and Shield at this point. Now we have no idea when we'll get another Pokemon game, right? So that'll be coming up that's this week as well. Those are the 2 new things I'll be doing. Of course, I'll be juggling everything else, including the usual late-night fun streams. Maybe there'll be another stream of Animal Crossing this coming week, depending on how stuff goes. Some Fall Guys, the usual Street Fighter. You know, we'll see. We'll play it by ear. And if I have started up a playthrough such as Hollow Knight or Genshin Impact, maybe I'll continue with that during the course of this week as well. All right? Now, near the end of this month, we've got some major releases. We've got Watch Dogs Legion, which obviously I'm really excited for, and I hope it turns out well, although I've been kind of skeptical about the idea of a game where you're not really playing notable characters with plot lines, but instead kind of disposable characters that you recruit on the fly and then could die, and then you have to recruit new people. It kind of makes me feel like they're going to be disposable characters that aren't going to have super entertaining plots. You know what I mean? But I guess we'll see. So there's that, and then there's also A Little Hope, the next game from the anthology horror series, The Dark Pictures. Okay? The last one was Man of Medan last summer. Now we've got Little Hope for Halloween this year. So that's going to be exciting. And then, of course, we have the Halloween Marathon at the end of the month, when I'll be playing a variety of games that you guys have nominated. And I'll probably also be giving a shot to Animal Crossing that day to see what is the special Halloween Day Animal Crossing event that's going on. Okay? And then we head into November. And don't get me started with how busy November is going to be, with insane amount of releases that are coming out in that month, okay? Plus the new consoles and everything, right? So, a good second half to this month. Certainly this is going to be more eventful than the first half, where really all we kind of had was Crash 4, admittedly. Like, everything else is just me playing older stuff. And, of course, this Cold War beta. But outside of that, you know, it's been pretty slow. So I hope you guys are excited for the streams the next couple of weeks. I want to say thank you to everyone who's been supportive to me these past couple of weeks, few weeks, with a lot of things that have been uncertain and a lot of things that have been very annoying. I don't even particularly want to bring up the things that have been annoying and the changes that I had to make to the stream anymore, but you guys know what they are. But you guys kind of put up with it, and I appreciate that. And the streams have been going good. Like, I'll be honest, the past couple of days, the streams have been really good with no interruption, which is a great thing. Okay, so thank you very much for that, everybody. Just a reminder, I guess I should give you a reminder. If ever my stream gets taken down, if ever I'm streaming, all of a sudden my stream goes offline, and suddenly Twitch seems to say my channel doesn't exist anymore, I'm going to tell you it's 99.9% chance that it's a false DMCA claim takedown against me, which is bullshit, but I have no defense against them. All I could do is put in counterclaims and then sit around and wait for them to process them so I could come back to stream. So if ever that happens during a live stream, I'll head over to YouTube, and I'll stream on YouTube on my channel, DSPGaming. And we'll just hang out and shoot the shit over there to kill time until the counterclaim processes. Alright, so I'm just throwing that out there. If that ever does seem to happen again, which it very well may, that's how I'm going to handle it. And then when my channel comes back, we come back over here and it's business as usual. Okay, guys? Sound good? Okay, very nice. Alright. So before we get to anything else, I have a couple positive announcements that I know people will want to hear, because I've ongoing things that have been talked about on the stream over the past several weeks to months, and you guys obviously are interested. The first thing is, this morning, I had my virtual doctor's visit with an ear, nose, and throat doctor. Alright? And after having a conversation with an actual ear, nose, and throat doctor about my ongoing ear infections, alright, after describing all my symptoms and everything I'm going through, the doctor has determined that I am a zombie. He says that I have risen from the dead, I should not be alive, and he'd like me to come in so that he could put some holy water on me and put me out of my misery. Alright, so pretty apropos finding out during October, Halloween month, that I'm a zombie. Makes sense. That's why my ears keep falling off. No, obviously, I'm joking. So, what really happened was, it was a very short conversation, because he read all my notes that were already in the chart and everything. And he basically just wanted a little bit of additional information, so I told him about what I do for a living, I told him about my ongoing issues, and essentially he asked me a few important questions that I felt were probably more interesting than anything that's happened so far, because not a single person has asked me these kind of questions. So the first thing he asked me is, well, do you have a skin condition? I said, what do you mean by that? He says, do you have like any kind of skin conditions on your body? Because sometimes when you get older, those could carry into other parts of the body, for example, your ears, and cause problems. And I said, actually, yeah, you know, I have an ongoing skin condition that I've had, and sometimes it goes to my neck, sometimes it goes to my arms. You know, it's not constant, but every once in a while, sometimes I'll get a rash or itchiness or dry skin. And he says, well, has this ever been diagnosed by a doctor? I said, no, because I'm not going to go to a dermatologist to pay thousands of dollars for him to tell me I have a rash and give me a cream to clear it, when I could just use over-the-counter shit and it usually goes away anyway, right? So he says, aha, he says, this could possibly be something, all right? And then another thing he asked was, you know, how long have I been doing this as a job? And I described, you know, I told him I've been doing it for 7 years. What kind of headphones do I have? And I explained it's the cup headphones. It's not, you're putting something inside the ear canal. And then I also told him about my changes this year. I said, I disinfect my office at least twice a week. I've changed my pillows. I've done this and done that. And he's like, well, you know what? After everything you've described to me, it doesn't sound like you have outer ear infections. It sounds to me like you may have an underlying thing in your ear canal. And all these stupid drops and everything that they're telling you to use, all it does is get rid of the outer irritations, but it doesn't solve the core problem. I said, I agree with you. That's exactly what I've been telling these doctors every time this year when I ask them for a full-body antibiotic and they deny it to me. I say, why don't you just give it to me? And then they won't give it to me. And he says, all right. After having just this, it was short. It was like a 5-minute conversation, seriously. He goes, all right, after this conversation, I want you to come into the office. I want to see your ears in person to get a look. He says, it could be anything. He says, it could be, it could be the skin condition. It could be you have impacted earwax in your ear, in your right ear, because remember, the ear infection always starts in the right ear. and it's stuck in there, and it's causing, repeated bacterial infections, and then it just happens to carry over because of things you touch and everything. He said it could be a lot of stuff, and there's no way he's going to know what it is unless I go in person. And then this is what I actually appreciated. He apologized to me. He said, you got to understand something. The reason that healthcare is like this right now is because of COVID. He says, if this were a normal world right now, you would have went right to the ENT. Like he says, once you described all these issues and everything, if it was a non-COVID world, chances are I would have seen him first earlier in the year, and I never would have had to waste time getting repeated ear drops, having repeated ear infections. I wouldn't have ever had to go to urgent care for the wasted visit like I had to 2 weeks ago. Basically, he says, this is all because of COVID. He's like, and this sucks because he says, now we're on phone, wasting time again. He's like, you should have been in here already. So he says he's going to have his office call me and arrange for an appointment. Of course, keep in mind, getting an appointment with the ENT apparently could take upwards of 3 weeks or more. So chances are I'll probably end up seeing this doctor probably sometime in November, which I'm still happy about. I want to see the doctor, and I want to get this, taken care of. So I guess we'll see. Obviously, I'd like to have it sooner rather than later, but keep in mind that it's an hour drive out there. Remember, I told you the office is an hour away. So I need to schedule it for a day when I don't have a lot else to do, so that I can actually make it out there and back with no problems. So we'll see what happens. And I'll give you more information, obviously, about developments about this as they happen. It's probably going to be quite a long time before I have any update, okay? Give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back in a second here. Oh! Okay. So, even though it's technically not necessarily a big development, I still feel, alright, that this is a good news, right? At least we have progress. A doctor I've actually spoken with agrees with me that I shouldn't just keep putting eardrops in my goddamn ears for this, and instead I should go in and get taken care of. So, I'm excited for that. What will happen, I don't know. What I'm hoping is that I don't end up getting more ear infections between now and then. As you guys know, I've made a lot of changes. I don't wear the headphones constantly anymore on my head for a reason. It's only certain games where I'll wear the headphones where I feel that they're really needed. Disinfecting everything in the office twice a week now. I do it on Wednesday, and I usually do it one more day during the week when I have time. My pillow is new pillows, right? Not using the old pillows anymore. This is all changes I made to try to fix this, and I hope that these work, okay? Because I cannot imagine if I get an ear infection in the middle of the fucking new console launch and all the new games. That is going to be absolutely annoying. What's hilarious about these people who are like armchair doctors is how stupid they sound, but they don't hear themselves and how stupid they sound. Like this one. That's so strange. If the infection was only healed when you took the medicine, but you're saying the medicine didn't do anything. Okay. No. What happens is you have symptoms as regarding of a condition. So, for example, if I had either an outer or inner ear infection, I use the medicine, and the medicine calms down the inflammation, which gets rid of the pain. Then the symptoms subside as the flare up, for example, gets lessened, and then you feel less pain. It doesn't mean you solved the underlying condition. It just means you solved the flare up, right? For example, I have gout. I'm not afraid to admit it because I have it. It's an ongoing condition I'll have for the rest of my life. What that means is that my body has an unbalanced level of uric acid. And it means that I have to stay away from eating excessive amounts of certain foods and doing certain activities. So, for example, I have to stop eating red meat a ton, which I did. I barely ever eat red meat now. Okay, red meat has high uric acid. So does pork. So I have to stay away from beef, pork, that kind of stuff. I have to eat protein diets that are heavy in, say, chicken, nuts, that kind of stuff, and certain kinds of fish. I have to stay away from shellfish as much as I can. Drinking, alcohol. Doing every once in a while is okay. Doing it excessively, terrible. It exacerbates my condition. All right. I'll never 100% clear up the fact that I have a uric acid imbalance in my body. It's actually something that was hereditary. My aunt had it, and my other family members previous had it before that, and I never knew it. I never knew I was at risk for this condition. So I was pretty unhealthy. I was eating whatever I wanted, drinking a ton for a long time, and it caught up with me about 5 years ago. All right. So the underlying condition will never be cured. I just treat the symptoms. What if I have an underlying condition in my ear, in the ear canal, that's not getting cured, and all I'm doing is every few months when I get a flare-up, I treat the symptoms, but it's never getting cured? I don't want to have, you know, intermittent ear infections for the rest of my life. So that's what I mean, like armchair doctor. Oh, it's funny. He says that the medicine doesn't work, but what are you talking about? I never said that. You're just an idiot. Stop trucking out of your fucking bunghole, okay? So anyway, that's the first piece of good news. The second piece of good news is I got paid by Twitch, and yes, those cheers last month from Overpowered Boone were real, which is great. And essentially, here's the thing. I'm happy, but at the same time, I'm nervous. Because here's why. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you exactly why. Every time something really good happens to me, something bad then happens to counter it, right? So right now, okay, right now, those cheers from Overpowered Boone were real, and they're helping me out. Like I said, this is going to help me tremendously with many things moving forward in the next few months. As you guys know, this is the busiest time of year for me as a streamer and content creator, where I have to constantly be buying new games. I have the PS5 next month. I've got all kinds of stuff going on right now. So this came at a very, very helpful time, okay? However, we don't know. As you guys know, there was also several large cheers this month, last week, from a Big B Wolf. We don't know if Big B Wolf is the same person as Overpowered Boone, and we don't know if those were real or not. So again, it's kind of like another month of ongoing, gee, is this real or not? Is it going to count, or is it just a sham? In addition, like I said, it seems to me that every time something really good happens, then something really bad happens. And what I'm hoping now is something crazy doesn't happen. I don't get a sickness that costs me thousands of dollars. Something doesn't break in my house that costs me thousands of dollars to replace. Something crazy, something that makes me so I can't stream. You know what I mean? I get nervous. I get anxious. What it is, it's anxiety. I have anxiety now because it's like, wow, I got relief knowing that there's some really good thing going on, right? At the same time, what's going to happen to ruin it for me? And I know that sounds very cynical, and I shouldn't be like that. I should be a positive person, and I should feel very happy that someone went out of their way last month to support me in a very, very generous way, and it's going to help me out. And I want to let you know, whoever that person was, Overpowered Boone, whoever you are, is very appreciated what you did to help, and it will help me in the next couple of months in particular. Thank you so much for that, okay? But at the same time, my mind is now conditioned to think that because something good happened to me, that something bad's going to happen, We get the vest streak, but then we get DMCA takedowns and constant harassment on the streams, right? It's like, it goes hand in hand. This has been like my whole life. Something great and then something terrible to negate the great and make me feel like shit, And I don't want that. I don't. I want to be like, guys, I'm so happy. This is a great positive thing. It means that moving forward in the next couple of months, things will be good. I don't have to worry behind the scenes about all kinds of stuff like that, and everything's fine. But at the same time, I've got this nagging feeling of oh my God, But you know what? Let's hope for the best. Let's not be like that, okay? Let's try to focus on the positive. Let's try to believe that things are going to be good and that something isn't going to come up out of nowhere to screw me over. Let's keep the streams positive. As you know, like I said, the changes I made in the past couple days kind of got the streams back on track after being derailed last weekend. The streams seem to be back on track this week, and everything seems to be good, right? So let's keep it that way, all right? Speaking of which, we're just going to keep everything as it is right now. I'm not going to go into detail about what I'm talking about, but I'm not going to change anything back to any other way right now. Right now, things are going good. We're going to keep things under control, all right? And, and hopefully for the near future, it'll all be fine. We don't have to worry about my streams being harassed constantly and shit like that. I want this to be a place where you guys can hang out with me, have a good time, and not have to worry about stress and, oh my God, look at this stuff going on Phil's stream and everything. I know, it's fucked up. and there's nothing I can do about it. You know, I'm basically kind of at the mercy of really, really shit internet law that it's not as good as, say, in-person law. When someone fucks with you in person, you call the police. The person goes to jail, right? And when someone fucks with you on the internet, it's like, who cares? No one cares. There's no one really to contact about this kind of stuff. No one looks into it. Everyone just gets away with everything. And that's what I hate. You know, and I don't want that. I want us to be like, wow, this is a nice, safe place where every day people can come and chill out with me and enjoy all these new games, the new consoles, and everything going on in the next few months. And I can't even guarantee that because we don't know what's going to happen with this shit that keeps happening. It's like every day, whenever it's one thing, it's the next thing, and then the next thing. I'm tired of that shit. You know, I really am. I just want to have a good time with you guys on stream. I've said that every time something happens over the last few years. I say, this has nothing to do with me. I didn't ask for it. I don't know who these people are who are fucking with me. I just want to have a good time with you guys on stream. And it seems like people are determined to ruin our good time. Right? But right now, they're not. Right now, we're okay. Alright? That's why I kind of forewarned you guys. If there is a false DMCA takedown during any of these streams, you know what to do. Head over to YouTube. We'll hang out with each other. Right? And have a good time. Alright? Phew. Sweaty. By the way, so for Amnesia, as you know, I'm trying to play it in the dark. But as you know, sadly, last time when I tried to do this, it didn't work too well. Because the sun was out, and it made my office look bright anyway. It's kind of that situation today, where the sun is going in, like behind, and then in front of a cloud, and then behind again. It's pretty annoying. So, you know, I'm not going to have the lights on in the office today, but I can't guarantee at all that this is going to not be an issue. You know, I want it to look spooky. I want it to look spooky, but there's not much that I can do about it. Okay? Also, I'd like to say, moderators, I know there's a few moderators in here today. Please keep your eyes open. Someone just came in and did something gross, and you completely ignored it, and then I had to take care of it manually. Which I understand it's the pre-stream. You're probably not actively looking at the chat as much, but I need my moderators to be on the ball here so I don't have to go out of my way to do stuff like this, especially with something disgusting that was just said. Okay? So I don't know which moderators are here. I know there was a couple here earlier. Please keep your eyes open for this kind of stuff, alright? Okay. Alrighty then. Alright, so that's really the two positive things. You know, the update is on my health. My ear infections for now are fine. I'm trying to keep them, you know, from happening again with the changes I've made. And I got a doctor appointment that's going to be scheduled, hopefully within the next, you know, month or so. And we'll go from there. Okay? Also, yes, the cheers last month from Overpower Boone were real, which is great. And hopefully things keep going positive here on the streams. You know what I mean? Because even though I have anxiety about it, I'm hoping that things will go better despite my anxiety. Alright? And we'll just keep things going positive on the streams. Obviously, you guys are liking them, right? Okay. Ooh. Did you hear that? That was my neck crack. I don't know if you could hear that on the mic or not. Alright, guys, that's really it. Like, there's not much else going on to really talk about besides I made a earth-shattering news announcement last night on the late stream. I don't know if you were here for it. If not, ladies and gentlemen, it's been officially announced that the Spider-Man Miles Morales expansion, you know, story, DLC, whatever you want to call it, will have the premiere of Spider-Cat. A cat wearing a Spider-Man mask that comes out and does combos during your finisher animations. It is amazingly cute, and it is one of the best things ever. And immediately, Spider-Man Miles Morales has jumped to the top of my Game of the Year. I haven't played it yet, but right now, it's my Game of the Year pick. Okay? So there you go. Just that alone is going to sell copies. I hate to tell you guys. Just Spider-Cat alone will be selling copies of Spider-Man Miles Morales. So, you want to talk about console wars. This shit is already between Bug Snacks and Spider-Cat. How the hell can you even try to fight the power that is PS5? I mean, you are done. Stick a fork in it. This console war is over, baby. Alrighty then. Okay, let's get to shoutouts. We start off with Shia LaBeouf, who overnight gifted us up to Chalupa Prince. Congratulations, Chalupa Prince, and thank you, Shia LaBeouf, for the support. Overnight, also, Golden Colts did a couple of cheers here. Hold on a second because my screen froze. There we go. So his first cheers is the best part of waking up is Maxwell House instant coffee in your cup. First of all, it's supposed to be Folgers in your cup. You've stolen the PR and marketing from one instant coffee company and put it onto another. That is completely faux pas, and I'm sending you a cease and desist letter immediately. You cannot do that in the modern America, all right? So you have to stop that. But thank you for the cheer. Then he cheered again. He says, have you tried those coffee tea bags that you soak in water? I haven't, and I wonder if they're better or worse than ground up instant coffee. I have not. What they are, I've seen them, right? You're right. It's not really like a tea bag. It's a giant pouch. That's a seepable pouch. So the water goes through the pouch to brew your coffee, right? Or you can actually get one that's like a tea bag, where it's similar to just say a tea bag. But no, I never tried them, so I don't know. I have a Keurig, which is the one you get the little cup, the K cup, and it pours the hot water through the K cup, and that's how it brews your coffee. Then he cheered again. He said, do you think overnight cheer requests, or excuse me, do you think overnight cheer questions make the pre-stream too long? No, we barely get any. Like, usually it's you, Golden Colts, and maybe one or two other people. It's rare, and when it happens, it doesn't usually take too long to answer the question, so I would say no. Then he cheered again and says, waste of space cheer. All right. All right, so now we actually get the people, excuse me, who contributed during the actual live stream. We start off with Green Frog 142, who resubscribed for 3 months in a row and says, hey, Phil, how's it going? It's going good. I'm excited for more horror today with Amnesia after, you know, Dark Descent earlier in the week. I'm ready for more creepy horror stuff for Halloween month here. And I don't know how different A Machine for Pigs is, but we're going to find out. I don't know. I get the feeling that the Justine DLC we're not going to like. I'm going to play it like once or twice quick and say, fuck this. And, you know, permadeath is stupid. That's just dumb. So we'll see. But I get the feeling we're going to get to A Machine for Pigs, and it'll probably be interesting. And we'll probably, you know, see how it goes. But, you know, I want to know what it is. It's made by a different group. So maybe it has a totally different vibe from the Dark Descent. I don't know. Okay? Jay Hawkwood cheered. This is the first actual cheer of the stream. He says, A Machine for Pig, isn't that called a police car? No. What you said is incredibly insulting to law enforcement. You should apologize on your hands and knees and tell them that you're happy for the fact that they protect you every single day from people who break the law, and stop being an ungrateful bastard. How about that? Westside Rascal cheered 200 bits. It's the biggest cheer of the day. He says, have a great stream, Phil. Thank you, Westside Rascal. Let's get that up on the leaderboard here. 200 bits. There you go. Snow Carl tipped me $1. Says, I'm still in the sin bin. I've been thinking. I created a name for those of us in the DSP community to help us bond. The Bro Army and Black Stars for Avril. No. We're not doing that because it's stupid, Snow Carl. It's really stupid. As I said many times over the years, I feel that my viewers are intelligent enough to not need to be grouped into some kind of a weird groupthink name or mentality. I joked over the years about things like the Hate Army or the Philanthropists and stuff like that, but it's always been a joke. I've never taken it seriously, nor would I ever wanted to brand anyone like that. Purposely. I always felt that it was not something... I felt that that's degrading to my viewers. Instead of saying, oh, you're an intelligent person and a viewer and an individual. Oh, you're part of a giant mob, a faceless mob that, you know, basically senselessly supports me no matter what I say and do. You're part of this army, this group, who no matter what is going to have my back. Even if I fuck up, you'll still mindlessly support me. I don't want that. I want a group of intelligent individuals who all think and act for themselves, and they watch my content because they like it, and they support me because they stand up for who I am and what I believe in, not because they mindlessly follow like drones. You know, that's what I feel. If you're making the Brofist Army, the Angry Army, the Champions Club, those are all ways to take your individuality away and make you feel like you just have to mindlessly support someone because you're part of this weird group. And I would never do that. Seriously, I don't think that that is a good behavior to have, and I actually think that that means that those people don't value you as much as someone who wouldn't do that and put you into a big groupthink kind of a deal. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. The reason that I really enjoy streaming, the way that I do it, is because we have the interaction that we do. We have the personal interactions, the conversations. I address you guys by name, and we have fun together. If I had, so many viewers on stream that I couldn't do that, something of very big value to me would be lost. All right? And if I reference you, Champions Club, go smash the subscribe and send me monies. No, that's fucking stupid. That's not being grateful. That's called, I can't even be bothered to spend time talking to you, but I'll take your money, right? Fuck that. I'm not like that. That's just, and again, if you guys like that, that's fine. You could go watch content creators that are like that. Trust me, there's a ton of them out there who are just like that, and that's fine. If that's what you want from a content creator, I'm not here to tell you that's wrong or to stop it. I'm telling you that's not what I'm about, and that's never what I'll be about. Okay? So, no, I'm not going to do it. All right? Thank you, Snowcall, for the dollar tip. Westside Rascal, cheers. Have you seen the new iPhone? What's your thoughts? Not really. I haven't really paid much attention to it, except on the one hand, they said they were not including a power block to plug it into the wall anymore. They're just going to give you the USB cable because they feel that there's so many power blocks out in the wild for previous iPhones that it's just a waste of a piece of thing that's going to sit around. And for the sake of the environment, they're cutting the power block out of the iPhone. All right? The same thing with the earbuds. They say, we're not going to include the earbuds anymore. Everyone has a pair of iPhone earbuds at this point, so we're not going to include them. Then they say, oh yeah, by the way, we've changed the power source to USB-C, so this cable won't work with all of your old power blocks. You have to go buy a new one. Wait, what? So you're not going to include the power block because you say you're trying to cut down because everyone already has one, but you're then saying that the ones that we have are obsolete and we have to go buy a new one. How the fuck does this work? You think we're dumb? Do you think we're brain dead stupid? And essentially, that's what Apple is saying. We're saying we feel that our customers are dumb as fuck. They're mouth-drooling idiots. And they're going to listen to our PR spiel about the environment. But then they're going to go spend an additional $50 to $70 for the power block for the new phone because, we don't include it with the phone. That's what they're saying. Anyway, it's like, what? Are they dumb? What the fuck? Outside of that, I don't think any of the features of the new iPhone I would want, right? As usual, bigger screen. I think it has like 17 cameras or something, like it goes to take a picture and like 14 fucking selfie arms rip out of the thing and, it takes like a 3-dimensional picture or something. I'm making that up, of course, but it's just ridiculous. The things that are in the iPhone, I don't need anyway. I wouldn't want any of those features. So, no, I don't care about the new iPhone. Okay. Spurgelmeister did 100-bit cheers and Merry Christmas, Phil. Well, Happy New Year to you, Spurgelmeister. Yeah, I hope you and your family are doing well during the holiday season. I hope you have a Happy New Year. I think he's actually making fun of the fact that I made a tweet 2 days ago when I was out saying they're playing Christmas music in the stores. It was October 13th, and they were fucking playing Christmas music in the stores I was in. I was losing my mind. I was like, I don't want to rock around the Christmas tree in the middle before Halloween. But they're doing it. They're doing it because they want people to spend money. They feel that Halloween is a bust this year because of COVID. No one can trick or treat. And therefore they feel kids aren't going to want costumes. No one's going to buy candy. Obviously you can't have big gatherings, so the parties are out that usually happen. So they feel, let's just push right on to Christmas. In which case, I said this yesterday. I said, what's the difference? Christmas is exactly the same. You can't get together with people. It's going to be the same thing because we're now entering cold and flu season, which means there's even a higher risk for colds and flus. So that means you can't gather with friends or family for Christmas. You can't have a big meal. You can't have a big get-together to exchange presents. You can't do it. So what's the point of having the Christmas shit in the store when you're going to buy it for nothing, right? Retail is fucked. Let's just be honest here. Retail stores are screwed. They've had the worst year. They missed a ton of holidays, including some of them Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, Easter, Memorial Day, and now the whole summertime cooking season that was out, right? Like they missed out on all this, and now the one time of the year when they're supposed to make money, canceling Black Friday, essentially trying to make it so people don't go on Black Friday and pack the stores and make sure they have a giant outbreak of COVID, which by the way is going to happen anyway. And, you know, it's a terrible situation for retail chains. I don't know what's going to happen. So a lot of these places might be going out of business, I feel. And it sucks. It's just a shitty situation. So anyway, thank you, Spurgelmeister, for taking a jab at the holiday season coming early this year, apparently. Westside Rascal cheered. Said, I agree, kind of lame on Apple. Not kind of lame. It's they did it on purpose. They want to make more money. Apple knew they could get away with this because, sadly, the majority of people who buy Apple products are a rabid fan base of basically brainwashed people. I hate to say it, just like Nintendo fanboys who brainlessly buy everything Nintendo puts out, defend it even though it's stupid, right? Gee, remember when Nintendo had that cardboard stuff? What was it called? I can't even remember what it was called. It was a few years ago. They were selling cardboard cutout sets to build and use on your Switch. Anyone with a brain made fun of Nintendo and said, are you out of your mind? Labo, that's what it was called, Labo. Everyone made fun of it and said, who the fuck's going to pay $70, $80 to fold cardboard and use it with your Switch? I mean, here's what you can do. Don't buy the Switch. Don't buy the Labo. Get a fucking regular cardboard box for fucking free because you probably got them around your house and have your kid play with that. Have them cut holes in it, wear it like a robot suit, make a fort. Why the fuck do you need to spend $70 for Nintendo folded cardboard, right? But the fanboys defended it. Oh, this is great. This is a great idea. Keep in mind, within 1 month, every store like Target, Best Buy had them packed to the brim with these things because they thought they would sell. No one bought any of them. They're still there. In fact, most of them went on extreme discount closeout. I actually saw at Target recently they were going for like $10 for the one that used to be $80 because no one bought it. It's a piece of shit. But people mindlessly defend everything Nintendo does tooth and nail as if Nintendo can do no wrong. And it's the same thing with Apple. They feel they're above reproach because they've got a bunch of idiots who follow them around and buy everything and do everything to make them fucking rich constantly, despite the fact that the company does make mistakes and should be very fairly called out when they make a mistake. But instead, they all just fucking ignore it. Oh, yeah. That's really how we get progress in America, is to ignore these things, right? There you go. Anyway, yeah, it's pretty stupid, isn't it? Your boy Bob has resubscribed for 46 months. Holy shit, your boy Bob, almost 4 years of support. Thank you, man. He says, what's up? Greetings from Boz John. All right, I have no idea where Boz John is, but I hope that it's a nice place with nice weather, and I wish you a good day, and I thank you for your ongoing support. There you go. BeastBot has tipped me $1.01 and says, I'm tipping this to 1-Up Snow Carl. Well, thank you very much, BeastBot. I appreciate that. Let me get you up on the leaderboard here, because you have now trumped Snow Carl. You've kicked him off the leaderboard. Take that. Your foot to his ass, right? Now, just to forewarn you, BeastBot, you've only upped him by a cent. It's very possible he may try to now beat you, or someone else could easily just, you know, kick you out of first place. It's $1.01 tip. Let's not go crazy here. It's pretty easy to beat, okay? Alrighty then. Speaking of which, thank you guys for any contributions today. Contributions are not mandatory on my streams at all. However, they are much appreciated, and they do help to keep everything going around here. So thank you to anyone who does contribute. Please, by all means, the best way to contribute, in my opinion, is tipping. Because when you tip, I get those funds right away, and I can put them towards important things. However, you know, everything is great. Cheering, subbing. I have a Patreon over at patreon.com/DarkSidePhil. You can give that a look and see what kind of perks you can get for pledging to there. It's all good stuff, all right? Now, we have our usual daily tips goals in effect. If I reach $100, excuse me, that was completely incorrect. If I reach $50 in tips, I'll put on the Gunner glasses. If I reach $100 in tips, I'll put on a vest. The last vest we wore was the Platinum vest. And so every vest today would be eligible except the Platinum. That means beige, blue, red, camo, and gray. Okay? Now, something I announced yesterday, someone asked me a question. And the question was interesting, and I'd like to do a follow-up to it. Someone said, Phil, you're not actually wearing the headphones on every stream anymore because you're trying to prevent having ear infections. Okay? This is correct. They also brought up the fact that the reason that I stopped wearing cowboy hat for a tips goal on stream is because I felt that, number one, it was too intrusive to the gameplay because I wasn't able to wear the headphones. And number two, because it was causing like heat on my head. So now that I have some certain streams, I'm not wearing the headphones anymore. Does that mean that if we hit the tier 2 tips goal, which would be $200 on that stream, would I put on the cowboy hat? The answer I have to that is yes. If I'm wearing a game where I know I'm not going to be wearing the headphones. For example, tonight when I play Batman Arkham City, there's no reason whatsoever to be wearing the headphones. I'll just put them around my neck. All right? If we raise $200 during the night stream, I will put on the cowboy hat as the special celebratory goal. Okay? But it'll depend on the game. For example, for Amnesia, I absolutely will be wearing the headphones. Because for Amnesia, that's a horror game. I want to hear all the spooky sounds and things around me. So that adds to the element of, horror and dread and ominousness. So no, that would not happen during today's stream. Tomorrow, I'm playing Ghost of Tsushima. All right? And this is a special mode where you're probably going to have to hear things around you. So the answer is no, I will not be doing it during the main stream tomorrow. But tomorrow night's late stream is Street Fighter. Yeah, Street Fighter, I've heard those sound effects only about 70 billion times since I've been a teenager, in arcades. I don't need to be hearing every sound effect perfectly. So yeah, I'll wear the headphones around my neck. And if we do double the tip skull, I will put on the cowboy hat during the Street Fighter stream. Okay? So it's going to depend on the stream. And if I'm wearing the headphones during said stream. Okay? That's the answer that I have for you. So this is kind of good because, sadly, as you guys know, there was no Tier 2 tip skull for the last week and a half, 2 weeks, because I can't spin in this chair. It'll knock over all the Halloween decorations behind me, right? So I stopped doing that. And now we're going to be doing this instead, okay? But only if it's a stream where I'm not wearing the headphones. If it's a game that I don't feel like we need to do that, all right? Fair enough? Okay. Ugly Tuna Roll tipped me $2 and says, beat that. So Ugly Tuna Roll now has become the top tipper of the day. Thank you, Ugly Tuna Roll. Let me get you up on the leaderboard here. Thank you for the support. And here we go. Very nice. Okay, very good. So now, it is time to give shout-outs. So we start off with shout-outs to those who have cheered this week so far. Keep in mind the week is young. We still got all the way through Sunday for your cheers to count on this leaderboard. We actually have a tie for 9th place between Junior Mint 007 and Golden Colts. Then we've got in 8th place Airman T. In 7th place Retro Jim. 6th place goes to Green Frog 142. 5th place goes to Robert Evans. 4th place is Ninstar Rune. 3rd place Upscaled Man. 2nd place Mr. Minecraftish. And in 1st Blue 4 2188. Thank you all for your support so far this week. I really appreciate that. Then I'd like to especially thank those who've gifted subscriptions to the channel so far this week, including the following people: Kashmir Goat, Diocletian, Jom Ann 6767, The Paradox 988, Django Pops, Spartan King, and Ultimate Cloud, all gifted a single sub. Oh, so did Mr. Minecraftish. Excuse me. Mr. Minecraftish also with a dollar tip. Excuse me. Boy, I'm all screwed up today. A gifted sub. Okay? And then Green Frog 142 has gifted 5 subscriptions to the channel so far this week. Thank you very much, Green Frog, for being the top sub gifter. Alright. Also, Bacon Plays just tipped me $3, said, beat that. So, we got a little bit of a competition between Beast Bog, Ugly Tuna Roll, and Bacon Plays for top tipper of the day. Let's get Bacon Plays now up there with the $3 tip. That is the current top tip of the day. Okay. Oh my goodness. I think what I'm going to do, I think I'm actually going to get a Mio water. I didn't have a coffee this morning because I was on the doctor I was on the phone with the doctor for a bit. And then I had to kind of run around to get ready for the stream because I was behind. So maybe I think what I'll do is I'm actually going to go get like me. I'm going to fill my thermos here. And I'm going to get a Mio water so at least I get a little bit of energy in me. Because I have nothing in me right now, you know. And go from there, I think. So, all right. So, ladies and gents, thank you. Huh? Sorry, I got an email that distracted me. Thank you for everything. Let's take a brief break. I got distracted by an email. I was like, what? Thank you for a brief break. I appreciate everything. After this brief break, we shall continue. We shall begin, actually, with right here with Amnesia. Okay, so thank you very much. And yes, Amnesia in just a moment, my friends. Sound good? All right, hold on a second. Because Beast Bod just hit me $3.01. Said bacon place sounds yummy, but he's under me. Beat that. Okay, so Beast Bod with a $3.01 tip becomes the top tipper of the day. Let's get that up there. Shit. 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 Okay, so that gets us up to $10 in tips. But then, as I was doing that, I just got another tip. All right? And this tip is from Murdoch, who tipped me $25 and says, let's raise the stakes. So Murdoch is now the top tipper of the stream. With a $25 tip, thank you very much, Murdoch. And that jumps us up to $35 a tip so far today. We're basically more than 1/3 of our way to our tips goal. So I appreciate you guys and a little bit of competition. However, it seems Murdoch has now blown you all out of the water. Okay. There you go. All right, guys. So that's it. I shall return shortly. I shall return shortly. All right. Thank you. And I'll be back in a few. I'll play you a little bit of music. And I'll be back. I'm going to go get, like I said, I'm going to go get some Mio water. And then I'll be right back. All right. See you in a bit.